Nityanandam everyone, my name is Ma Prasiddha and I wanted to make a video today sharing about what is sacred geometry. This is one topic which really amplified my spiritual seeking, my spiritual journey, and I think a lot of people on their path towards enlightenment, in their path towards finding the truth, finding spirituality, whatever that means for them, they come across sacred geometry. This concept, and I just wanted to delve a little bit into it and the really cool and amazing things which I've learned about sacred geometry through Hinduism specifically. So one specific sacred geometry which I want to focus on today is the Sri Chakra or the Sri Yantra. And the reason for this is because you've probably seen this all over the place, whether you know it or not, or whether it's used by posers trying to be all cool and alternative or whatever it is. It is a very, very powerful linear formation, a sacred geometry. And why this is the Sri Yantra. What it is it's actually thousands, hundreds of thousands of years old. It dates back into the Vedas and Agamas of Hinduism. And this is seen carved on very, very, very ancient ruins in these ancient palm leaf scripts. And scientists, this is the coolest thing to me, scientists today have found out basically that people, human beings who are in these ancient civilizations, who we always claim are less intelligent than the human species now, definitely not true, but have basically found a conundrum because their own logic has been proven false, in that the Sri Yantra, right? The Sri Yantra has been depicted in Hindu scripts for hundreds of thousands of years, from ancient civilizations. And what they describe it as is the linearization of the verbalization Om. So I'm sure also most of you have probably heard Om. What is Om? It's used left and right in the West and the East, but what does it really mean? Om is how we start every single mantra. This is how we start chanting. Om is how we start prayers. Om is literally the essence of the universe, because what Om is, the sound Om, that sound, that syllable, is actually the verbalization of the sound of the universe creating itself. The sound of the universe expanding. Literally the concept from modern science of the Big Bang is Om, of the constant ever expanding universes make the sound Om. And this sound has been written about and told that it is the sound of the universe, the sound of creation itself in Hinduism. And of course scientists and modern people have always said, oh, they don't really know what they're talking about, that's probably some myth, right? Creation myth. Well, science now has the technology to record what sound the space actually makes. They've gone into space. NASA has actually gone into space and recorded the sound, and Om is literally the sound of space. And not only that, in Hinduism, the verbalization Om, like as I said, the linearization of that is the Sri Chakra, the Sri Yantra. Because right, every sound actually makes lines. It actually makes linearization. So the sound Om literally makes the Sri Chakra. And again, science didn't really know if there was a logic behind Hindus teaching this for thousands of years. But of course, modern science even caught up to this ancient science, this sacred science of enlightenment, and saw that when you use, I think it's, oh god, I don't remember the word now, so forgive me, I'll post it below once I get this corrected, but there's a new technology, right, which you can play sounds. There's like a very, very cool video I'll link of some DJs who have made a visualization of this, where all of these different sounds, right, are depicted, and you can see what linearization they make, what shape they make. And Om literally makes the Sri Chakra in the linearization of it, in its linear form. And modern science was absolutely mind-boggled by this, that how could an ancient civilization, which we say is less intelligent than civilization now, which didn't have technology to go into space, to have this high frequency of mathematics and physics, all of these things, How would they know this? Something's not right. Something's not adding up. We can go into that later. That's a whole nother video or multiple videos. But basically what I wanted to share is there is so much behind sacred geometry, specifically the Sri Chakra. It is incredibly powerful because it literally represents expansion. It is expansion in linear form. And when we use this, when we have this as jewelry, as as art, we draw it, it actually holds this energy itself. So it's so powerful. Sacred geometry is so powerful and so pertinent. And one last thing which I wanted to share about it, which is I find so fascinating, is that the Sri Chakra is actually the representation of the divine feminine, of Shakti energy, because of course creation itself is the divine mother, the divine feminine. It is that creation aspect which has the femininity to it, the motherhood, that motherhood component, which we call Shakti. There's the duality of Shiva Shakti, which we describe in Hinduism, the masculine and feminine energies. And the Shakti energy, the constant expansion, the motherhood, the feminine raw power is the Sri Chakra. So if you ever see this, I hope this helps you have a little bit of deeper understanding, and you can kind of take a step back and be kind of in a little bit of awe and amazement when you see such a beautiful depiction and what it actually means, what it actually represents, and the energy it actually holds, the potential energy it has for ever expansion, for connecting to the divine feminine, the divine Shakti energy. So thank you guys so much for listening to my rant, my ramble. I just really love to share about sacred geometry because, as I said, it really got me intrigued as even an intellectual person. When I started finding out about this, I found it so fascinating, and it really played into my logical mind, and was like a spiritual science to me, literally a spiritual science. And this spiritual science is backed by thousands and thousands of years of ancient knowledge from the Vedas and Agamas of Hinduism. And I just feel so blessed to have learned this knowledge and continue to learn and expand my knowledge on these sacred sciences that Hinduism has to offer to the world. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I can't wait to follow up with you guys in the comments and answer any questions you may have. And just so you know, my sources, I'll post below, I'll include, but mainly are Paramahamsa Nityananda, my guru, who I have found to be the most authentic source of ancient Vedic knowledge that the planet Earth has to offer. He is an avatar. 4 times in a row, basically, his lives have been enlightened. He's an extremely powerful being which is here on planet Earth right now to literally raise the consciousness of the planet. And I'm actually now living with him in India, so I feel so beyond blessed to be living this life and keep expanding my consciousness, expanding my experiences, and eventually reaching enlightenment. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Please post your questions, comments below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much, guys. Nityananda.